If it weren't for second chances, we all would be alone. No one is born evil. What makes someone evil is his life after he was born. His circumstances and everyone around him is what decides that. An example of that, the Saiyans. Goku wasn't raised by them, he was raised on Earth, and look at what he has become. But the other Saiyans, a lot of them, we could consider them as evil in our eyes, from their deeds and their acts. But were they born that way, or they became that way? Goku tells us that they became the way they are. But can we actually say that they were pure evil? In my opinion, we can't. No one is pure evil. Everyone has his justification. Everyone has his reasons for what he's doing. In their eyes, they weren't bad. They weren't evil. They were the good guys. And this concept of good and evil is fascinating. How after we're born, we decide what we call good and we decide what we call evil. And through the circumstances of someone and how life treats him, he becomes evil in our eyes. But will you forgive someone who you consider evil if you knew why he became that way? Will you give him a second chance after you've seen his journey and what drove him to become the evil that you see now? Will you give him that second chance? One of those characters that I thought they needed a second chance, they needed someone to show them what it means to be good, was Raditz. He's Goku's brother, the brother of the purest being. But life wasn't exactly the same way for him as it was for Goku, and we saw his end. Goku at that point didn't know about how Raditz became Raditz, how he became what he saw as an evil guy who wanted to just destroy Earth. He didn't know about his past, about his origin, about the story of how Raditz lived and his environment. This is the story of that. The story of Goku saw his brother's life and past. What will he see? How Raditz's past was. This is the story of Dragon Ball Zero. And this is a fan-made manga. It's not canon, so you shouldn't take it as canon. What I like about this story is it fills the piece of how Raditz became the Raditz that we met. With that, the story of Dragon Ball Zero begins. It all starts 3 days before the destruction of planet Vegeta, in a stadium where we see a fight going on. The team that wins this will be allowed to start conquering other planets. And we see Kid Raditz beating up. And from this early age, the Saiyans start competing for who will destroy planets, for who will take the lives of an entire planet just to sell it. That's how they raise them. As we see, a Saiyan has his foot on top of Raditz. He tells him to give up, and Raditz is badly hurt. From outside the ring, we see two Saiyans cheering, the one fighting Raditz, and we see the ones with Raditz. One of them looks like Goku. He tells him, Raditz, it's okay, you can give up. And we get that Saiyan name as Raditz looks at him and says, Talis. He smiles to Raditz, and it's fine to give up. He says, I understand, I'm giving up, so remove your foot. Could you remove your foot now? I admit defeat. Then he starts begging him. He doesn't want to lose in such a humiliating way. The other Saiyan looks at him surprised. Raditz says, just leave me, my pride. Remove your foot. Then he shouts, please, to the Saiyan. And the Saiyan kid removes his foot, but Raditz just smiles and throws sand, so he was faking it. And it blinds him with all that dust. No one can see what's inside the ring. Raditz's friend goes in all of the smoke. That Saiyan starts feeling something. It's Talis. He grabs him by his tail. It's forbidden to interfere during a fight and grab someone's tail. But who cares, he says. Raditz takes the chance and goes at the Saiyan. He attacks him and throws him out of the ring. He has beaten him, which means that Raditz's team wins the championship and is now gonna conquer a planet. Raditz and Talis have done it. They have won it even though he was gonna lose. At that point he had friends that he could rely on. Friends that he can call family, who will be there by his side through it all. But the friends of the one who he knocked aren't too happy about them cheating. But they tell them there's no rules in war. They laugh it up and walk away. And frankly, they are right. There's no rules in it. We enter one of the Saiyan's buildings, so it's time for them to conquer a planet so they could impress Frieza. So this is their lives, what they strive toward and what they're born to do and raised to do, to conquer planets for Frieza. They're not taught anything else. As they're walking, they notice something. It's Raditz's brother, Goku. Raditz looks and says, Kakarot. Goku only had a power level of 2. He wasn't strong compared to any of them, but we now know where he is. Someone from behind them comes and says that they plan to send Goku to a distant planet called Earth. Talis says they will pay him a visit someday, but Raditz doesn't want to. He doesn't care about him, so let's go. Frankly, he does care about him. We can see it from his looks. He's still his brother after all. They hear footsteps. They turn around. Someone is coming towards them. We see who that is. It's Bardock. He passes by them. Father, Bardock turns around and says, Raditz, you've grown a lot. He doesn't have that much time. He wants to leave. Talis tells him to wait. The 3 of them are gonna conquer planets now. Bardock's proud of them. He's proud to see his kid becoming a full-fledged Saiyan. Before he leaves, he calls for Raditz as he starts removing the collar from his hand. Raditz is shocked. He doesn't see his father that often. He throws it towards Raditz and he's more shocked. He says, next time we will do something together, okay? Raditz is happy. He's happy that his father is there for him. He's happy that he wants to spend time with him. And this side of Raditz we haven't seen before. Him seeing his father makes him someone different than the one that we knew. At this point, he's still a pure soul. Someone who looks forward to life. He wants to spend time with his father and family. He still sees the best of life. So this is why he's happy. Because he wants his father to be proud of him and there for him. But little does he know that their planet and his father won't live for long. Thus, it was the last time they saw each other. The last time that Raditz saw his father. The Saiyans are a warrior race, born for battle. They had rapidly become more important in the Frieza army, working their way upward in the army. Some Saiyans had started to make decisions on their own. One of them was Bardock. He decides to conquer planets without asking for permission. Something Frieza didn't like at all. So Frieza ordered the extermination of the Saiyan race. This is why he was afraid of them. They didn't obey him like before. Legend of the Super Saiyan was known to him. On a distant planet, as a Saiyan is conquering a planet, 2 Frieza's henchmen are behind him. He says, awesome, you finally came. Look, I almost annihilated them all. They just smile and say, I see, well done. They fire a key blast, taking him out. And on another planet, the Saiyans, as they are conquering the planet, they can sell this planet. Frieza is gonna be. They didn't even finish the sentence. From behind them, someone takes them out. It's Frieza's henchmen once more. They're taking out the Saiyans that are sent to missions. On a faraway spot in the universe, Raditz's team have been sent to planet Descent. The female Saiyan from Raditz's team has been taken out. The only ones that are left are Raditz and his friend. They are badly injured. They are no match for the inhabitants of this planet. They're fighting monsters who their attacks don't affect. Even when they fire key blasts, they don't do anything. Raditz's friend fire a key blast towards the monster. It doesn't do anything. It just makes him angry. So they run away as the monsters are chasing them. But as they're running, Talis trips on a rock and falls down. Raditz sees him and the worry seen on his face. He's his friend after all. As Talis turns around, the monster steps on him. Raditz calls for him. Talis, he screams. He's seen his friend been taken out in front of his eyes. The despair, the anger is seen in Raditz's face. Talis is gone. Raditz is trapped. He can't do anything. On a different spot on this planet, we see one of Frieza's henchmen. He transmits a message to the Frieza force saying that the Saiyan kids are gone. The inhabitants took care of them. At that moment, Bardock, who escaped death by the hands of Frieza's men on planet Meat, was hidden back toward planet Vegeta. From his spaceship, Bardock was able to hear the conversation. Bardock hears as he confirms that the 3 Saiyans are gone. Bardock is angry. He believes that he lost his son and he now knows what will happen to his his planet. He says, they also took out Raditz. I won't ever forgive you. You're going to pay. Frieza. Afterwards, Bardock faced Frieza alone, but he couldn't do anything against his immense power. In the end, Bardock disappeared together with planet Vegeta. In his last moments, he entrusts Frieza's fate to his son, Goku. But back to planet Descent. Raditz is still alive. He was hiding. He tries to escape, but he makes a noise which alerts the inhabitants. They attack him. Now it's over. He can't do anything. But the inhabitant stops. Raditz opens his eyes and the monster is defeated. But how? It's Nappa and Vegeta. Vegeta took him out with ease. Vegeta sees Raditz and asks, who are you? Nappa knows Bardock. He says, that's Bardock's son. He introduces himself to them. They ask him, what are you doing here? He tells them about how Frieza sent them to conquer the planet. Nappa says, you must be mistaken. This planet is Super S rank, impossible to conquer by a low-level warrior like yourself. So Frieza sent them to their doom. It brings a shock to Raditz. What? He didn't know that he was sent there on purpose. Vegeta tells him, everything been destroyed, including my father and yours. But Raditz didn't only lose his friends, he now lost his father. He wanted to be with him, he wanted to see him once more, but Frieza took that from him and took his friends from him also, his friends who were always there for him. And this is what made Raditz Raditz. This is what made him the way that he is now. When he went to Earth, he wanted Goku to become like him, but he wasn't. He only knew this life, and in my opinion, we couldn't say about him as a pure evil. He lost his father, his planet, and his friends, so he was forced to be the way he is. And this is his life, so would you give him a second chance? If only Goku could have reached to your heart, life would have been as simple as it used to be. Raditz. And if you reached this point, thank you. If you enjoyed, you could subscribe. If not, well, you do you. But all in all, love you all and thank you all for giving me your time. And I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and saying that, I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.